Hi girls! My name's Carolina, this is Carolina's Closet. Welcome! So basically we're making a summer wardrobe for a trip that I'm going to. So the trip that I'm going to has some quirks. I'm going to the north of Brazil in a state called Maranhão, which is winter in June when I went, but it's in the equator. So winter there is 30 Celsius, 32 degrees Celsius. So it's not technically winter, okay? It's not winter weather. And there, if you've never heard of that place, in June, there are a lot of parties. It's a very traditional party scene with lots of dances. So there's a lot of stuff to do in the city center. But the state also holds a very amazing natural scenario. I don't know how to say it, but it's a desert-like environment, but it's a flooded desert. It's like a desert with like dunes and lots of sand and no shade and like oasis-like areas. But throughout the desert, there are lagoons because of the rainfall, because it does rain. It rains quite a bit actually, but when it's not raining, it's like a desert, but then it rains and it forms these like lagoons with the bluest, amazingest water. And to go there, you actually have to just walk. So they leave you there in a 4x4 and you just walk. So it's a trekking event with like a backpack, just walking through the desert, and you sleep in the people who live there, their land, and they can have like hammocks and a bathroom that you can share with all the other visitors. So that's the place that I'm going to. Okay, so there's a bit of city and a bit of trekking, fitness, walking through the sand through multiple kilometers, and a backpack. That's the trip that we're going for, okay? The last video we did a hat to protect from the sun, and we also did a dress that I could use to dress myself under, and also then we looked pretty in the dunes. So that's the dress that we did. We also did a basic little tank top on my knitting machine, and that's what we did in the last installment of this video. As I mentioned in the last video, I had over 12 hours of footage once I stopped filming this video, and I wanted to make it concise and very just like straight to the point, but I'm only human and I make mistakes and I like to talk through the things that I did. So this video got quite long, and I decided there are some people who like long videos like me. I like to watch very long videos because I'm crocheting, I'm knitting, I'm sewing, and I just have a lot of videos in the background. I really like when people do this, so I just decided to leave it long, and I'm explaining everything that I do, all of my mistakes, the things I did wrong, the things I think I did right, and my process. That is a long process of making clothes in the knitting machine, in the sewing machine, and by hand in the crochet. So I decided to leave it long, and I decided to split it in two because it was very long. If you're watching this video for company while you do your chores, while you craft, while you, I don't know, do homework, draw a little bit, I hope it's good company. I hope I'm not too annoying, and let me know what you're doing because I like knowing it. But anyway, let's go through our projects. The next project we're doing, it's a knitted project, and it's actually a swimsuit. So if you know me, you know I've been doing knitted swimsuits. I've been really liking it. I've been like recording the process because I like it, and I had yet to do a one piece, and I really wanted to do a nice little one piece to use in the lagoon. So that's what we're doing. So let's go for our next project. So I'm going to a very beautiful place that has a lot of water in it. Therefore, I need a bathing suit. Yeah! I've been loving the idea of making knitted swimsuits. There's very good swimsuit yarn here, and I can explore different prints. So I've been loving to do that. And I'll use today to try and make a pretty swimsuit with some nice prints that I can wear on my trip. I don't actually have time to think of a different print and sketch it out and see if it works. I use that time to create a pattern because I've done some bikinis. I want to try out some bathing suits, like full one-piece kind of things. So I spent the whole morning writing numbers down. Now this might look like an insane person's scribble. It's literally just numbers, but this is my pattern. I write my patterns by like just writing down the specific row that I'm going to decrease or increase in because I have a stitch counter in the machine. So I did that. And the idea is to make something like this. So it's a one piece, but it's not like a regular boring one piece. I want to do one of those because I feel like it's going to be really nice with just like a fun print and just a basic design. But for this, I decided to do something a little different and do those like cut out swimsuits. I want to do it in one go. So I want to start in the back and do the underwear. And when I'm here, I want to make it smaller. And then when I reach the boobs things, I'll make the boob hats. And that will be good for me to test out the cups that I've been working on in the past couple of times that I've made bikinis, but making them upside down. Because so far I have been trying to crochet bikinis string first and then growing it to make the boob, and that's for when I get to the rounded part here, it's easier. But now I'm gonna try to make it opposite. So I'll start from bottom up and I'll make it one thing, and then I think I'll just make some straps for this part, yeah, and attach them through the channel in the boobs. So it's like an in-between a bikini and a bathing suit. It's not a full swimsuit just yet. I want to make it printed, but I don't have time, as I mentioned, to make a whole new design. I have this, looks like nothing, looks just like random, and it is kinda. I did this ages ago for my thesis actually, and this is what it looks like. I think this is the right one. It's a very random design. I made it based on water, just like the water flowing. It's just very random. I have bikini yarn in red and white. I'm scared that I don't have enough. I have 2 reds and 3 white, but I don't know if these are full. I don't think they are. Can you see, like, it's not a full skein. So I hope it's enough. I don't know if it is because I've never done this design, but this is what I'm gonna do right now. In case you've never seen a knitting machine, this doesn't go on power, but it has a lot of mechanics into it. So if I put this here and touch some buttons, every time that I knit, this will turn and it will make the needles that represent the holes go forward and the other ones not go forward. And then the machine will pick up the ones that are all the way forward in one color and the ones that are back in another. So here I'm doing something maybe controversial. I don't know how popular knitting machines are to have a controversial take in this space, but I've done this a few times before and it works. It's basically attaching a common elastic to the knitting needles, so when you knit, they are intertwined in the actual knit and they will not turn, they will just stay there. When I do this, I stretch the elastic just a little bit to be stretched. I don't like to recommend this because it is quite hard. Like you'll see in the video, I use force to take the carriage through the needles once the elastic is in, and I cannot recommend that because these are vintage machines and like it might be hard to find a technician to fix anything that goes wrong with them, and it's a harsh practice. I don't even know if it's a good thing to do. I don't know if it fucks up the mechanics because I'm not a mechanic. I've done it a few times and my machine's still going. I would say strong. But it's a harsh thing and it might fuck up your machine. So I don't know. I do it I'm not recommending it. It works, but I'm not recommending it, okay? Moment of truth. It worked for half of it. And then I folded the hem and proceeded to make quite a few rows to make the swimsuit. I don't know why I don't believe in myself. I was looking at this shit and I was like, this is not what I want. Like, this is not the pattern that I'm looking for. But I just doubted myself. I just told myself, yeah, that it is. That is what the pattern is. And because it's like a weird random thing, I thought that it was it. It's not. This is not the pattern that I'm looking for. Okay, so I fucked up. This is the pattern that I was looking for. Clearly. I don't know. Clearly. I don't know what this is, but it's not this. And I don't want this because it's not looking fun. So I'm taking it off. Okay, guys. It took me, I think, an hour that I didn't have. And a great deal of annoyance. Okay. But I took it all off. I didn't start over because it took me quite a while to do the hem. And I didn't want to undo that. But I unraveled everything, spun the yarns, and now I put the right card in. It's the right one, I'm pretty sure. So now let's do it. Yep. Pretty fun. I love it when my yarn tangles like this. It's so nice. I'm gonna cry. Hope that it works for a few rows. Okay, it's working. I hope it continues working. What if I told you that I'm not sure that this is the pattern that I wanted? I don't know what is up with all of these undistinguishable patterns. It's like, what the fuck is this? And what the fuck is that? I'll just continue with this, whatever this pattern is, and just hope it turns out like something. At least for this one, I feel like the yarn ratio is closer than the other one. The other one was using a lot more white and red, and I want them to use roughly the same amount. I will start decreasing now to shape the underwear part from the back to the front. Then I knit for quite a while, following the pattern I made, decreasing and increasing to form the underwear shape. And then one of the white cones ended and I stopped for the night because I was quite tired. I simply forgot I had no yarn in the machine and I started knitting. I was so full of joy. I wanted to finish this yesterday, obviously I didn't. And I got here and I was excited to do this, and I forgot that the yarn, I forgot to check the yarn. I don't know what to do. I forgot to add the yarn. I almost want to start over. But then yesterday will have been lost. I don't know what to do. I really don't. Because they already started falling. It will be so hard to get its bunch. I hate myself. I think I give machine knitting a bad reputation because if you watch my long videos, I always have a problem. I always fuck something up, but it happens. Like, the thing is, you can make simple stuff. You won't have that many problems, but I just choose to do some insane stuff. The only reason why I'm picking them back up is because this is a weird, wacky, nonsensical pattern. So when I fix it, I will have, like, I won't be able to follow the pattern right. But it's a weird pattern, like it doesn't make sense anyway. So I feel alright doing it. If it was like a more, just like a normal pattern where you would be able to see like a drawing, a figure or something, I don't think I would bother because it would just mess up the whole pattern, the design. And also I drink way too much coffee. I'm shaking. I'm physically shaking. So it makes it harder. I even put the weights on top of the machine so that I wouldn't forget to feed it with the white. And this happens all the time also. Like forgetting to feed the machine with the yarn. Did pick up all the fallen stitches and I had to go back a few rows. I could not forget to count back the rows that I frogged as well as roll the card backwards to try and get the design looking all right. Fixed it. Now, let's hope I don't mess up again. Okay, I think we're golden. I will go ahead and try to finish this as soon as I can, and I'll report back. I finished shaping it till just below the boobs where like the full swimsuit shape is. And I cast on a bunch of stitches to make a channel to put the string just below the boobs, the boob cups. And then I worked on the cups separately, similarly to how I did the tank top. But for these cups, I did use the partial knit function to make the round shape of the under boob. And that is something that I wanted to see if it worked because so far I've been only knitting swimsuits upside down. So start from the smallest part, increase a lot, and then do this rounded shape at the end. So the partial knit only at the end. And here I'm doing it first thing, so I wanted to see if it worked, and it did. I'm very happy that it did. Okay guys, it's hard to show you guys because it rolls in a lot, but this is the shape. And it goes here. Obviously it's rolling in. It's rolling in, but it has a decent amount of, you know, space for the lady. And then here it goes like this. And then it just goes in. And then I did the cups. So here I can put a cord through. I will work now on this thing in the machine, and the rest I'll do by hand. So this is the little hem for the finishing touches. I did something like 10 rolls with a tension 10 roll in the middle, and I folded that over to create the hem, and then I attached the actual swimsuit with the leg hole part facing the machine, so the wrong side facing me, to the needles, and then I cast it all off so it creates that hem shape. That is something that takes so long, and I feel like it's necessary because it looks so nice, but it takes so long for just that because I hate casting off. I'm really bad at it. Anyway, and then I sewed the sides of the bottoms together and I strung the I-cord through the boob channel, and that's how it's looking. And if you've been following me, you know that I just don't like not having the finishing hems on the knits because it rolls in a lot, and I don't like that a lot visually. It's not my favorite thing. So I decided to go for my go-to crochet hem. That is a scallop hem around the stuff. I don't like to do single or double crochet hems on knits because it doesn't look good. I've tried it before. I don't personally like it. But a scallop hem, I think it's cute and it usually does the job. Usually. So that's what I did. Did the scallop hems around the boob cups except for the bottom, and on the belly part that is supposed to be like the bathing suit part. And it looks really cute. I'll show you the final result in a little bit at the end of this video. Stick around. It's really pretty. I like it. Okay, so for our next project, we're going back to sewing and we're making some shorts. Some nice summery basics, a nice good pair of shorts that is not too short. I didn't want it to be too short, okay? So all these fabrics that I have here in this pile, I always want to use them, I never do. These are waist fabric from like actual industrial waste. I participated in a challenge, like competition, a few years ago, and I just got a bunch of waist fabric from a specific factory, and they just gave us a bunch because we were supposed to make clothing with them, and I just have a bunch left over, and I wanted to make stuff with them because they were free fabric. They're not big, so I have to do small things or do patchwork projects, but they're quite a bit of fabric. So that's what I'm using. This one is thicker, so I think I will love it more, but since we're going to a very, very hot place, I'm going to use the blue one because it's flowier and supposedly breezier for a hot climate. This is a normal short pattern that I did on the Zara video. I'm not going to use the dart, and I'm also going to try and do a pocket, see if I have enough fabric for that. I want to make a very simple, very go-to, easy little shorts that I can wear that are kind of breezy, don't make me hot, and I just can wear easily. Elastic waistband, but I want to put some pockets on them. I'm using this pattern that I made on my Zara video. I'm not doing the dart. I made them a centimeter bigger as well on the sides. Actually 2 centimeters, one in each pattern, so that I can put it on with just an elastic, no zipper, no buttons. I spent around half an hour cutting it and figuring out the pocket. I'm doing the slanted side pockets. I'm going to follow the real tutorial, and that's it. I am hoping to finish this quite quick because I want to do one more machine project before I have to leave. But yeah, this is going to be really useful and I really want to make it. So first I'm going to attempt and do the pockets, and then I'll just do everything else. Here I'm trying to figure out the wrong side of the fabric and working on the side pocket using the shorts tutorial that I just showed you. Look. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it will certainly do the job. Well, I'll fix that and then it will do the job. I do think I made it a little bit small, but I kind of did that when I cut the second pocket because I didn't have quite enough fabric. I had enough fabric, but I wanted to save fabric, so I cut a chunk off of the bottom of the pocket. I thought it would make a difference. Apparently it does, but it's just for some things. I won't, like, my phone is quite small, so I can just, if it's my little phone, so it's enough for me personally. Now to build the shorts, I sew the front crotches together and then the G-back crotches together. I did not want to use an overall gray here, so I did do a front seam to everything from now on. So you sew everything wrong sides together, and then you sew everything again the same seam right sides together. So the seam encapsulates itself and there is no raw edges. Once the crotches are joined, you sew the sides, so front and back, front and back. I'll just try it on to make sure that it can go in without needing a zipper. Well, it can. I'm sure it can. No issues there. And once those are done, you do the inseam. So from one bottom all the way to the other bottom, trying to match the middle seam. It is harder with a French seam, but you can still do it. Just pin it from the middle outwards, which is nice. Okay friends, so the main shape of my shorts are done. It's going to be quite high-waisted. Wait, it's a little bit high-waisted. But there's nothing I can do anymore because there's the pockets here. I mean, I guess I could take a little bit out of the pockets. I think this was a problem when I did my skirt. I just forgot, and now I remember. Yeah, I'll just take a little bit out. So I'll cut a little bit here on the top, and then I just need to hem it and add the elastic waistband. Now, this whole process has taken me 2.5 hours, like from cutting the fabric and stitching it with a French seam and adding these pockets, which I had to kind of learn. Now, technically I could be done in half an hour, but I struggle the most with adding an elastic waistband. I don't know why. I find it so hard. I always struggle. It's basically just making a waistband, and then I don't like, I have a sore spot here. Anyway, I don't like to fold the waistband and then attach it all at once. I like to attach it and then fold it over so it's a clean finish, but that takes so long. So I will report back, but I think I'll be done in like an hour or so. I will have to have lunch in just a few minutes, but I'll let you know how long it takes me. Okay, so I cut a few centimeters around the waist to make it shorter, and then I cut a long strip of fabric that was double the size of the elastic that I was going to use, plus the seam allowance in width. Then I sewed that right sides together to the top, just one side. And then for the waistband, I folded it inwards, hiding the raw edge inside. And here's where you would pin it to base stitch it and then sew on stitch on the machine. But I can never do that right. It always looks so weird and I have to reattach it and redo it a bunch of times. So I just decided to hand sew this waistband in place, sewing the ditch but by hand and like doing a back stitch so it would be secure. It did take me a while, but I was not really frustrated, which I would be if I tried to machine sew it in the ditch. This is a very slippery fabric. I always struggle with waistbands no matter what the fabric is, but this fabric is quite slippery and wasn't staying in place. Also, I didn't know if I cut it on the grain of the yarn because it's a waist fabric. I don't know what the grain of the yarn of the fabric is, so it might have been even harder because it wasn't on grain. I don't know, but it was hard and I did it by hand, which was okay because I just watched a YouTube video while doing that. It took me 2 hours. It's so cute, guys. I'm gonna show you on myself in just a few minutes, but it is super cute and it's exactly what I needed. Just like a basic easy shorts. There's nothing extra about it. It fits me just, alright. It fits me real good. It's not tight, it's not large, it's good, and it's also not too short. I mean, I think it is a little bit since I did the hem. It was quite longish, like around mid-height, but then I did the hem, so it's going to be a little bit shorter, but it's not too short, so I think it's going to be good if I end up walking a bit on it, like doing it a little bit of tourism and like having it not too short because then it won't chafe my tights because like we're going to a very hot place, so my tights are going to like rub against each other and hurt themselves. But I will tell you guys, I did take too long to make the waistband. I don't know what it is. Like my nemesis in sewing is waistbands, which sucks because I do like making pants. I just do not like waistbands. If you look at mine, I did it all by hand because I knew that doing the stitch in the ditch thing, I was going to stitch it wrong, and I was going to stitch it so wrong that I would need to seam rip, and then I would have to do it again and seam rip it at least 2 to 3 times, and then I would be upset, I would be mad, and I would be frustrated. So I just decided to take the long time version, and just sew it all by hand. Not even just base stitching and then sew it in a machine. No, just sewing it by hand. I did a back stitch, and I just took around like 2 hours to do that. I don't know if I'm too slow. I don't know if I'm an average time, but at least it's all sewn in the ditch. Like it's pretty good. This is a very slippery fabric. I think that might be part of it. This is it. But because I did take like over 2 hours to actually finish it and like finish the attaching the elastic and doing the hem, I'm actually going to go straight to my last project that I'm going to do in the atelier, which is a knitting project. I did have the intention of doing like a little top to pair with this, like doing a matching set. I do have just a little bit of fabric left. It's really not a lot. This full fabric is waste because this was a waste fabric, but this is a decent piece of fabric. My idea was to like hem all of the hems and shirr it just like I did with the back panel of the dress. Just shirr the full thing and then maybe put some little loops in both sides of the thing because this doesn't go around myself. But if I added some loops and then just did get like a piece of yarn or something and crisscross in the back, maybe get a little bit of these, like I have some little pieces, maybe join them and make a little ruffle bit at some point, something like that. I was going to do that, but I really don't have time. I don't even know if it would look pretty because it's just like a scrappy idea. So the next project I'll do is a sweater. It's a long sleeve kind of top that I love to do in the machine. It's something that I came up with. I'm sure It's not original, but I feel like I came up with when I did the first one, and I do it all the time. I have a few tutorials on this, and I actually think I will release this one that you're just about to see as a separate tutorial because I feel like it's good for beginners. It uses a full machine, but it's still, I feel like it's quite straightforward. So that's what I'm about to do for the chilly nights. Okay, so this is a little bit of a last minute idea. Wait. I have been, even though I did say that I'm going to a very hot place, and I am, but the experience that I'm going to have is somewhat of like a wild nature, sleep in hammocks kind of situation. And I've been told that there is a possibility that it's cold at night. And because we're sleeping outdoors in hammocks, if it's cold, it's cold, you know. So I think I'll be knitting, no, I don't think, I know, because that's what I'm about to do. I will be knitting a little, like, just like sweater. I kind of call them sleeves, but they're not sleeves. I make them like, I have plenty of videos where I made them, but it's just basically a little sweater, but it's made all at once. So I make a sleeve and then I open to make the body, and then I make a hole for the head, and then I close it, and then I make the other sleeve. So it's sleeve, body, head hole, sleeve. It's one panel and it's pretty straightforward. So that's what I want to do. I think I'm gonna go for 80 needles. It's going to be like a loose open knit, but it's still like I'm going to a hot place that might get chilly at night. So I don't need like heat, right? I just need something so that I'm not really feeling that cold. This is, I think, an acrylic. Yeah, I got this at like a yard sale. Not yard sale, but like I'm getting rid of my yarn kind of sale. I like this yarn. It's acrylic. Cast on as normal. I'm going for 9. I'll do a fairly big hem for the cuffs, but it's not snug. It's just so that it has a hem. A hem. So tension 10, 1 row, tension 9, 10 more. Okay, now I'm gonna fold it like this. Hem has been created. Now I will knit enough for like 1 arm and then annotate that. Let's go! I will do 150. It took me literally 5 minutes to knit all of this. Sometimes knitting machines are fun. Now I will cast on the rest of the machine for maximum length, which is an extra 60 needles in each side. And for this side, I have to cast on the wrong way, but you're doing the same E wrap, just with your wrong hand, like this. I cast on the foam machine in this side. Now I'll just take the carriage that way. It will knit these ones, and then I'll cast on that side. I will now cast these on. Also bring these ones forward for security. And I will knit. Also, I'll zero the counter here. And I'll just knit it all. made 50 rows. I will now make a little hole for the head here. So I'll knit only one side, then I'll knit the other side, and then I'll join back and do this again. Press the hold button, it does the short rows. I'll take from 15 out of working position. This won't knit. I will knit all the way here. I will now cast off the 30 here, 15 from one side, 15 from the other, and then I'll just knit here. All right, now I'll knit this for a few rows. I think this is good. Solid 30. And I'll bring the carriage here. I'll zero the counter. I'll bring these needles forward. And I will knit those rows there. I just have to feed. Don't forget that. And then I'll just bring them slightly back. I have to manually count for this side because it doesn't reach all the way there, and I don't want to bring the carriage here because it will start snagging on these stitches. I should have put a waste yarn here, but this is a fairly fast project. I don't want to waste time with waste yarn for the sake of the integrity of these row. So I just don't go with the carriage all the way there, so I have to manually select the counter. Now, I will just cast these back on. And I have to now bring the carriage here. Oops. These needles were supposed to be forward. All needles were supposed to be forward. The yarn is over here on the last needle that I cast on from here to there. And now all of the needles are forward, and the yarn is here where I last cast off for the head here. The yarn goes over all needles, and then I bring back just this side of the work. Very, very carefully. Just make sure they're all in at least this position, because it will knit. And now I will take the carriage here and knit these. And you can bring the yarn like I'm doing so that you're sure that it doesn't catch or on any of the other ones. And it knits here, yay. I like to do a little tug here. And now zero the counter, and we can take it off. Oops. We can put back, it was here, and we can put it back on knitting position so it will knit normally. And now we will just repeat this and this. So here I did 50, so I'll just do 50 rows now, and I have to pay attention for this area here. I'll have to keep bringing the needles forward till like I have enough to put the weights on. This.
Hooray! Now I will cast off the 60 in the side, and then I'll cast off the 60 in the side. Can cast off in the way that you prefer. So it's all cast off till here. I will now feed the machine, and I will knit the rest of the row. And now I will cast off all the way till here. Okay guys, so I did this. I only have one sleeve left to do and the hem. It does only take 5 minutes to knit the sleeve as we learned, but it takes a few more minutes to do the hem and cast off. Cast off is really annoying. I don't have that time. I have to go to the gym. I have a class scheduled. I'll go to the class and then I'll be back and finish this. Because I'll be back in like 2 hours, I will just leave the machine as is. If I was leaving it overnight, I would probably just take the weights off, just leave the combs. Actually, I might take these ones off. Yeah, but I'll just keep these ones and I'll be back in like 2 hours. So yeah. I'm back. I didn't take a shower. Deal with it. Now, yarn in. Always make sure the yarn is in. 0 the counter because now we're doing 150 rows. Whee! And you can take off the wow. Let's go. All right, we made the 150. Now I just need to do the hem. I like to use a little bit of a waist yarn in a different color. You wrap it around the needle once, the first one, and then you zigzag it across the needle. So 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up. And then you make your hem the same way that you did the first one. I did 10 and then 1 in tension 10 and then 10 more in normal tension. So I'm using tension 9. So 1, 2, and then tension 10. I mean, this is tension 9, so it doesn't really make a difference, but this is to create a little dent on the hem when it folds over. But in this case, it's just because I always do it and it just feels weird not to do it. Now I'll fold it. This is my transfer tool now. And then I just come here and try. Hooray. Woohoo. Now I just take it off. Now, you just put all of your needles back. Actually, do whatever you want. However you cast off, because there are some cast offs that you can bring the needles forward. I have mine backwards, but you just cast off now. So no extra row, just cast off. actually didn't really drop any. Wow. Hot. Okay, besties. This is what we have got going on here. And then it will go here. It is okay. It's not too cropped. But as you guys might know, I'm not a fan of the rolled hem. I still have pretty much a full cone. So I will do a little hem here for length. And it's good because it won't roll in anymore. Okay, so you grab your thingy, your tneed, and you pick one of the front or the back, and you kind of roughly measure it against your machine. Don't stretch it too much, but you can stretch it a little and see how many needles you need. Mine is over here, 7.5 and 60, 70 plus 60, 130. Yeah, so do 65 on each side, and then you cast on like normal. Cast on, and now I will knit. I think I'm changing the tension to a tension 8. It's going to be a little bit more compact, but not that much. It's not going to make that much of a difference. I usually like to do hems a little bit smaller, but I didn't do it for the rest of the thing. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Now I do one row, tension 10, back to tension 8, 20 more rows in tension 8. Now I'll just fold it. Wow. Yay. You got the point. Once you have it all folded over, you get your tneed. Okay. You get one of the short parts. You can look at it. This is the knit side. This is the purl side, the wrong side technically. You attach it with the right side facing the machine. Okay? So you're looking at the wrong side of the fabric. Whatever you want to be the wrong side, you're looking at it. And then you just attach it like you've been doing. So I like to do first one side and then do the other. It's not, oh my god. Once it's all in, you just like push it. And you guessed it, you cast it off. Okay, so it's all cast off. And it's done. Look. This is how it will look in the front. It doesn't stretch much here, so be sure that it does fit. It does stretch, but not that much. And now I will do the exact same thing on the other side. And it will be, and then the machine part will be done. Okay, girls. I did the second hem, and now I did the full thing, all of the knitted part. Now, like, this is what it looks like, right? I'll just fold it like this and stitch from here to here and from here to here. And I would like to do this today, but I am so tired. I woke up so early today. and I drove like 2 hours to get home. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to pull a line or to finish this. Okay, folks, so here, this is the shape. And then these are the sleeves, and this is the body. And you basically just, and then I will stitch from here to here, and then from there to there.
Okay, so as you saw, I went full on teacher mode and explained the whole thing. So yeah, I don't know, if you thought it was a good tutorial and you want to go back to it, I'll probably just post that by itself in a separate video, because I felt like I did a good job explaining that. It's probably because I did a multiple of it by now, so I know it. Oh, who would have known? Practice makes perfect. What a concept. Wow. Okay, so we have one more project, and it's finally our crochet project. If you were here for the crochet project and you stayed all the way till now, I love you. You are amazing. We're doing, I never know how to say, a pair of pants? One pant. A pants. We're doing pants, okay? And they're crocheted and they're full on long crochet pants, okay? Intended to be used as a beach cover-up, so to use over bikinis, so it's very see-through. It's open weave, okay? I started this when I started the bucket hat, actually after I finished the bucket hat, but I dragged it across multiple days. So I had this nice viscose yarn with this tape-like aspect to it, and instead of using the recommended 4.5mm hook to work on it, I used an 8mm hook, which made the project go faster, and it created this open mesh style fabric. I made enough chains to go exactly around my hip, just snugly around my hip. I closed those chains in a circle, and I double crocheted a few rows around to make the length from my belly button kind of all the way to my crotch. I did that, by the way, by putting the hook through just the top of the stitches and leaving the middle gap, so that creates like a second gap to the mesh. I hope you can see it on screen and understand what I'm trying to say. Well, I like doing that because it creates like almost like a double mesh when you're doing it. So I'm crocheting in the middle of the stitch, not under the stitch. When I had enough length to fit my waist to crotch, I folded it in half and I made a chain that was long enough to cover like from my bum to the front, you know, for the whole perineal region, like that length. And I folded the whole thing in the middle and slip stitched that chain to the other side of the pants. And I went back and around with a roll of double crochet in each side of that chain. And then that creates like a panty style thing with two holes. One hole, each of the holes is one leg hole. So I start with one side and then the other side, and I just go around and around and around till I have pants length for my leg. And I just do double crochet for that, all the way to one side and then all the way to the other. It's so funny that I actually thought I would be able to do full pants, like full pants with one cone. I'm really bad with understanding the amount of yarn I need. I usually go for more, but sometimes I do go for less, clearly. I have 2 more cones. I kind of think it will be enough. I hope it will, because I don't want to buy more. Okay, so I kind of forgot to update, but I finished one leg
Excuse my gym attire. And this is how's it going so far. Just reached the foot, and now I'm gonna do the second leg. The second cone finished around here, and I'm in the third cone already. Bit of a heavy pair of pants, but it's going really fast. Yesterday I think I crocheted for 5 hours, 6 stops, maybe less even, because I wasn't crocheting for like too long. So the 1 cone was obviously not going to be enough. The 3 cones won't be enough, because these cones are not really that much. It's only 100 grams. I thought it was 150. It's not. This is 3 cones. I hope you're praying for 5 cones to be enough, because I only got 2 more, because I don't want to spend that much more on these pants. It's already getting expensive. I finished the 4th cone. This is 4 cones. Yeah. I'm done with the length, and this is all I have for the waistband. I really hope it's enough, because I want to put an elastic on. I think it'll be better, but I could just tie a string on the pant as it is and it'd be done. I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so I put on this random gold eye cord that I had laying around just to see how it looks. Just like this. It is a little bit of a drop crotch, like the crotch is around here. I do want to add a waistband with an elastic though, so I'll try to do that, see if the yarn is enough. If not, I'll just make a prettier like black little string to tie it just like this, because this is totally wearable like this. I just would much rather have a waistband with an elastic on, because I feel like that's just better. No, I actually don't have enough yarn. I need like 3 more rows plus this one. Very sad. Very sad. Okay, so lucky for me. I mean, not lucky, because I wish I just had enough. My mom has a lot of yarn, and she's obsessed with viscose. So she has this yarn, which is not the same brand, but is also 100% viscose, and viscose is usually made in this kind of matter, this like tapey yarn, because of the way that viscose is made. I recently learned some about viscose, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. Yeah, like look, the bottom one is the one that I'm using. The top one is the one that my mom has. They're very similar. Different brands, but similar yarn. Luckily, my mom has some yarn, which is very good for me. I thought I was going to use one. I genuinely thought I was going to use 1 cone for these hurts. I'm so delusional. Oh my god. I think this one's a little thinner, but not by much, so it will totally do the job. I stole this from my mom, by the way, but I'll tell her when she gets home. So this is the one that I'm using. This is the new one. Very similar. I'm happy. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. Thank the yarn gods. I lost the yarn chicken, but I have my mom. Yay. Yay for finishing these pants.
and not buy more yarn because my mom has her own personal shop. I'm so happy. To fold the waistband, I actually wanted to do the like slip stitch kind of fold, but I wasn't able to, so I just left a good chunk of yarn and hand stitched the waistband shut. Before closing it entirely, I cut an elastic the size of my waist minus a couple centimeters and slipped that around the waistband and closed it shut with some needle and thread. So a lot of stitches with a needle and thread. I didn't put it through the machine, and then I closed the rest of the waistband and it was done. Okay, so everything is done. This was the full project. I hope you enjoyed. It was like vloggy style, but with my narration. And now I'll show you the pieces. I'm sorry that I made you wait for so long. I've been kind of slightly lying to you. I'm sorry. I made all of these pieces as a summer wardrobe. But the thing is, everything that I just did in this video, plus the little top that I didn't do that matched the shorts, those were all of my ideas that I wanted to do for this trip. There's someone singing. Can you hear? There's a guy singing in one of the construction sites, but like there's no construction sites right by me, so he's singing really loudly. Anyway, I'm sorry. I wanted to make all these items for my trip, and I kind of know where I would want to wear them in a trip, like because I knew my trip schedule, but I couldn't finish them in time because I started filming this and making the pieces 2 days before my trip actually started. So obviously I couldn't finish all 7 of these items that are knitted and crocheted and sewed in 2 days. So I only finished the essentials. I finished the hat and I finished the dress to the trip, and then I finished everything else after the trip, and I know if I would have or wouldn't have worn them. So I'll let you know that, okay? So starting from the sleeves that I just made in this video, I'm glad I didn't make them for the trip, and I'm also glad I made them, period. I love this color. I love these kinds of sleeves. I have a bunch of them, so I know I will wear them a lot. And I also know, because I've been to the trip, that I wouldn't have worn it on the trip. I would have worn it on the airport, on the way to, and on the way back, because I'm in a cold place, in a cold area for June. June in the South Hemisphere is cold, okay? Not in the equator, but in the rest of the South Hemisphere it's cold. So I would have worn it on the airport, on the way there, and on the way back, and I would not have worn it more. And if I would probably not have put it on my backpack to do the trekking. If I had done that, I would have hated myself because it would be a bunch of extra weight on my backpack that I would not have worn because it was so hot. Even at night, when I thought I would have worn it because it would be chillier, it was like 24, 25 degrees Celsius at night, and we were sleeping in hammocks in the like open air. So I really didn't need that. I'm glad I didn't take it with me, but I'm glad I made it, and I hope it was helpful, the tutorial. Next item. The thing about the shorts is that they fit me like shorts. They're shorts. They're just like, they're shorts, you know? And I just don't think they're flattering on me, but I would have worn them regardless. The thing about them is that they're useful, they fit me just fine, and they're good length because all of my shorts are shorter. So that's good for like in a hot climate, it wouldn't chafe when wearing them. If I had taken them with me to the trip, maybe I would have worn them on my city days. On my city days, I basically did tourism and I just walked through the city and watched all of the traditional dances that are going on in June and looked at like the pretty little decorations that they put up in June and July because it's the June parties and it's all traditional. And I walked throughout the whole day seeing multiple kinds of dances that are typical of this period in Maranhão and São Luís, where I went in the city. And I probably would have worn that with just maybe my tank top that I did or just any other top. But honestly, if I had taken with me, I probably wouldn't wear them to my city days because I took a pretty dress and I took my crochet little shorts with me. One is printed and my crochet like orange square crochet tile pattern shorts is very much fun and happy, and it goes with the energy and the decoration and the traditional dances that were going on at the time in the city. So I would probably have still worn those, the things that I did wear when I was there. The crochet shorts, something that I made. I just made it before the trip. So I probably wouldn't have worn them in the city, but I would have worn them on the trekking part of the trip, especially on the transit days. So there were 2 days we went from the city capital in São Luís to Barreirinhas, where the whole desert, flooded desert is. It's quite a long distance in van. So I would have worn those there because they're very comfortable and they just fit me just fine for a van trip. So I would have loved them for that, and just to like walk around when we were not trekking, when we were not like walking from one place to the other in the dunes. So I'm sad that I didn't take them with me because I would have liked to wear them there. But like fashion wise, I don't think they're too flattering on me, unfortunately. I think they look fine, but they're not the most flattering or like stylish, I don't think. Regardless, I would probably, these are the kinds of clothing that I wear the most around the house and the day-to-day. Okay, so the next thing is the tank top. So the tank top, I love. I'm obsessed. I'm sad that I have not done tank tops before, and I want to make so much more. So these were based on the Primark ones that are very snug on me. So these are actually very snug, but they're very comfortable because of the yarn that I chose. So I chose the bikini yarn that has a dry fit feel to it, has like a bikini feel to it. So it is very comfortable, has that like cold texture. So when I put it, I'm not hot because it's like cold, that cold kind of yarn, you know what I mean? The cold, the dry fit, okay? So it fits very comfortably, and I'm really sad that I didn't make it for my trip because it's so nice, it's so comfortable, and it's a tank top. So it would have been amazing for the summer, the heat that I was facing there. I would probably have worn it with my shorts that I made myself, the orange shorts, in the city day because it would look really pretty. I think my whole DIY look in the city photos, it looks so pretty with all of the flags in the city. So I am sad that I didn't do it before. I'm glad that I did it now, and I want to make a bunch more. I do have to figure out a way of grading it. I would love to make a pattern available for those of you who have knitting machines because I feel like it's such a good pattern. But as I said, for some reason I have a good fitting extra small top, and that is not, you know, most people are not. Actually, I'm not usually an extra small. I need to split it into 2 separate pattern pieces, and the reason why I don't want to tension it up to make it bigger is just because I can wear it on its own, like right now with the tension 6, which is quite a small tension. I can wear it by itself. If I in the white, so obviously in other colors it would look good. If I make the tension bigger, it will look more holy. There will be more see-throughness through it, so you won't be able to wear it on its own. So that's why I don't want to make it bigger by upping the tension. I just want to split the pattern. I want to make that because I want to make a bunch of those. These is perfect for the summer, for the winter as a layering piece. I just want to make a lot of them. I like it. I want to make a little bit of a bigger version as well on the cups because those are quite sexy, I think. I can go with a little bit of a bigger cup as well. I think it'll be good for variety, okay? But I love it. I'm glad I made it. Okay, so the swimsuit, I love it. I'm obsessed. I'm so happy that I made it. I'm happy that I had a swimsuit that I could model to make the one that I did. I love it. I think it's a fun silhouette. I know it's not for everyone, but I think it's nice. It looks a little bit slimming and it's so comfortable. The print is so fun. I think it would look so pretty in contrast with the blue waters and the white like desert sand. So I'm so sad that I couldn't make it in time for my trip because I really wanted to make it. It would look so nice in my photos. And as a swimming suit, I have a few things that I would have to tweak for a new version. Mainly the belly part still does roll in quite a bit and it hides the scallop, so I have to work on that. Also, I'm used to that, the very small bottoms, but I know it's not for everyone. If I would like to commercialize this kind of bikini at some point, maybe I would have to work on that. But it does cover the girl, okay? It is small, but it does cover her. So I would still make it a little bit bigger though, just like a couple stitches, just for good measure, you know. That's just like few details. It still looks really nice. I really love it, and I'm so sad that I didn't make it for the trip. The crochet pants are a complete disaster, guys. I am not gonna lie to you. This is so funny. So I genuinely, and I'm not joking when I tell you this, I believed wholeheartedly, I believed that I could make these pants that I just showed you me making. I just showed the process. I believed I could do it with one cone of yarn. The cone has 100 grams. I believed, so much so that I took the work in progress with me to my trip. I took it on my trip and I crocheted it on the go a little bit because I had another project that I took with me that I'm going to share with you in a few videos. But I took this one with me as well because I believed I could finish it on the trip and wear it with my smiley face yellow and black bikini as a cover up, and I think it would look really nice. So I took it with me. And I believed, I don't know why, I believe I could finish the pants, the whole pants in this trip with this amount of yarn. I just took that. I rolled it out of the cone and took it with me. I took it with me on my backpack while trekking, guys. And the thing is, obviously I couldn't finish it because I was working on another project and this was too little yarn for this project anyway. But because I took it with me on this backpack, walking through desert-like environment and getting wet and getting and like wet clothes in the bag, that looked disgusting when I got back home and I had to empty that backpack and that project was there. So I had to wash, pretty much just like a mini skirt version of it. I washed it in the machine because it was disgusting, and that like took a little bit out of the color of the yarn. So the pants are actually different colors, like the beginning of it, the till the crotch has a color, and then the rest of the legs is a different shade of black because this part has been washed and this part has not been washed. You can't really see it when I'm wearing it, but you can see it when it's flat, and it's so annoying and it's so delusional that I actually believed I could do it with 100 grams. Anyway, I still did it, and I really did like the pants themselves. I like the pants. I like the way that they look on me. They're quite heavy. So I couldn't have taken, if I finished them before the trip, I would probably have taken it with me on my main bag, but I would not have taken it with me on the backpack because it wouldn't fit. Because it's 500 grams of pants in my backpack, walking across the desert in the sun with it in my bag, I wouldn't have taken it with me. So it would have been like wasted time to make this in a rush for the trip because I wouldn't have worn it as I intended on the lagoons with my bikini, and I wouldn't wear it on the city because it's like a beach cover up. So I'm glad I didn't make it in time, but I'm glad I made it because it does look nice, and it does look nice on me. I like it, and I kind of want to try and style it for the city, for like not beach environment, because this is like a very beach cover up kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, these are the pants. I think they look nice. I'm glad I didn't make them from the trip because I wouldn't have worn them, because I wouldn't have taken them on my backpack because they weigh too much and I already had too much weight on my backpack. Now the things that worked and I did take to the trip, yay! The absolute success, the one big success, the absolute 100% yay is the hat. The hat worked so well, guys, I'm telling you. And I got the shades to match my fitness attire that I wore while walking throughout the days in the trip. So it was really nice. I looked very monochromatic and it was so fun. I went with my friend Jessica, and then we had a big group of like 7 people in total that was like walking together and staying together in this trip. And it was really funny whenever I put my like monochromatic look. So I put my yellow look with my yellow shorts and my yellow hat, or the yellow fit in the second day, and then the blue fit in the last day, the 4th day. And I think it looked so nice. I'm so glad I made it. It worked so well. The strings were those like slippery, like satiny cords. So very much like not usually functional, but they were really functional. They held itself really good, and they weren't harsh because I don't really like things close to my neck here. But I didn't feel them that much, so it was actually really good. I love them. I use those like stoppers, the thread stoppers when I put them on. So good. I'm glad I made them. It was foldable, so I could put it just fine in the bag when I wasn't using it. 10 out of 10. I love it. I would recommend it if you're a hiking slash trekking girly, but you like DIY. Maybe make one for yourself. Maybe use a canvas fabric and have it already sturdy, so you don't have to put the interfacing, because the interfacing was weird. It didn't bother me, but it was there. Like, I could see it through the yellow, not through the blue, but through the yellow. So that's something that annoyed me just a little bit, but it just bothered me just a little bit because I knew it was there. Just like the little snag that I did on the yellow fabric, but it wasn't much. Anyway, I love the hat and I'm so glad I made it. Now for the star of this video, the dress. I'm so happy I made it. It looks so nice. It's such a good dress, guys. I'm actually so impressed that I did that just like that. I just decided I'm going to do this. I just whipped up like a little, I never like draping it. I didn't drape, I drew the pattern, but based on just like a random top that didn't look like that. So I'm so glad I made it. It looks so nice. The color looks so pretty against the water and the sand. It looks so magical. I love it. I love it. Pretty wise, it's so beautiful. There are a few things that I would have changed, obviously, like we're talking about are my mistakes, so let me tell you. You might know, you will have noticed, I think it's a little bit too plungy, a little bit of a low neck, a little bit of a little too sexy, okay? When I was changing myself, using it as a coverage, sometimes it didn't cover me enough, okay? I will tell you that, but it was fine. We were, at that point when I was using my dress, we were all friends there, so like a little nip slip was everyone pretended that they didn't see it. But it was very beautiful also, but you know, it looked nice. It's just, I could have done it a little less plungy. Could have, but I didn't. It fits me really well. I'm really glad that I did change the straps inward a little bit so that they never really fell when I didn't want them to fall. The back looked really snatched. It worked just fine. The skirt looked amazing. The one thing that was the fabric choice. I chose too thick of a fabric, and because it was that kind of fabric that it was, when it got wet, it marked a lot, so you could really see that it was wet. Like the color change from a dry to a wet was very drastic, and that happens to a lot of fabric, obviously, because when something is wet you can see it, but that was a very drastic thing that I actually don't think I considered before, that it was going to get wet as I changed from like bikini to a not bikini underneath it. So it bothered me sometimes when I was taking photo with it, and it was very wet at one spot and not wet enough in the other. So, and also it was very heavy, it was very sturdy. So I'm glad I have it as a dress. Now for the reason that I made it, I could have gone with a thinner, less drastic of a change when wet kind of fabric. It would have weighed less also in my backpack, so I could have gone for something lighter that still had enough coverage. But apart from that, it was a very good dress, okay? And I do have a clip of the dog following me with my dress, and it's funny, so I'll leave it here for you guys.
Inchado, é só roupa. Ai, eu não tô conseguindo parar de rir.
That clip is so funny, but anyway, I'm so glad I made all of these. I've been wearing the top a lot. I've been wearing the shorts a little bit. So I'm glad I made everything. It'll be good for summer because I'm still in winter. I'm actually freezing a little bit. So I'll be wearing them a lot, and I'm very happy that I made all of these things. If you made it all the way to this video, I'm so happy. Thank you. You are the best person ever. Let me know if you were entertained. Let me know if I was too annoying. Let me know what was your favorite item from either of the videos the one that I posted before this one. Which one you like the best, which one you like the least. If there's anything that I did that left you a doubt, like if you're trying to make something like the things that I did and there's any sort of doubt, let me know. If there's any critiques, you also let me know, because I know I'm always learning. So if there's something that I did and I did it wrong, let me know, because I would love to learn and just get better at the stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm very happy with all those results. I'm sad that it took me so long to make these videos, but I'm happy that I made them. I'm happy I made all these things that I did. And I hope you enjoyed the journey. I really do. Let me know whatever you want to let me know in the comments down below. If you don't know what to say, if you don't have anything to add to the conversation about the things that I made, comment a yarn emoji to let me know that you made it all the way to the end of this video and you're the best person out there because you made it all the way to the end of this video, which is a very long video. Let me know if you prefer long videos or short videos, like 20 or so minutes, or if 1 hour, 2 hours is okay for you. I would love to know that. My social media has been on screen for a while now. If you want to follow me there, I usually post short versions of the projects that I made here. I try to make some more, but I already use a lot of my time making projects like this, and I want to continue. This channel is a making clothes kind of channel, but I would like to venture a little bit into home DIY or just other kinds of DIYs. It's mainly clothing, making clothes. Usually I do use my knitting machine quite a bit, but I'm trying to reach out to a little bit more crochet, a little bit more sewing, because I feel like those are more, people are more interested in them because they can make them themselves. These machines are harder to find, are harder for people to have them. But yeah, that's it. Let me know something that you like to see from this channel, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye bye.